Recently I had to defend myself, and it taught me a lot about myself and what I've gone through and how I handle conflict and why prior to this recent situation I was handling conflict in the way that I was. So when I was younger, as far back as I can remember, there was a time when I knew that I was being mistreated, and I got tired of it. I was so tired of feeling intentionally misunderstood, um, isolated, set out to be not believed, things like that. And pretty much gaslit. But I didn't know what gaslighting was when I was younger. I just knew that every time I spoke my truth, I was always like it was always a runaround. So my mother used to tell me a lot. I mean, after every single time that I could remember, when I used to protect myself, I was always able to articulate my feelings and what I experienced and how it affected me and how it could affect me if it continued, things like that. And I soon realized that I was around people who weren't articulate in that manner. And I slowed down on expressing myself because of that realization, and because my mother would tell me, you're not going to get anywhere in life with that attitude. Now, I can admit that the way I would articulate myself wasn't the best route. However, I do understand in hindsight why I was articulating myself in the manner that I was, because I knew that I was going to be intentionally misunderstood, dismissed. They were going to be avoidant and pretty much just gaslight me. Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. So, because she said it so much, I mean, all the time, I internalized that. And I definitely didn't, because of the way I grew up, what I was born into, and the way I grew up, and the environment, I wanted to get places in life. So I became quiet, especially once I entered the real world. But people continue to do the same things that my mother used to do to me, and and other people. And I learned how to retain that natural fire that I have within myself. And I stayed quiet a lot of times when I shouldn't have stayed quiet. and so many people benefited from my silence. And because I'm more wiser, I know a lot of people simultaneously suffered because of my silence. But most of all, I created a war within myself because of my silence. And I'm in the process of forgiving myself for doing that for so long. It became a survival um, habit, survival behavior. So, fast forward to recently, I had to defend myself because I noticed that this particular individual was projecting their insecurities onto me every chance that they got, and was like, I think it's called negging, like try to build me up. Well, thinking that they were building me up from a place that doesn't exist in my reality, um, to bring me back down to a level that doesn't exist in my reality. Hence the projections of insecurities. And I had enough of it when I realized that this person was, number one, wasn't going to stop, was getting a kick out of it. And it became very apparent to me that this person's behavior was becoming obsessive. And when people are jealous, envious, and obsessive, they do things that you can expect the unexpected. And that's what occurred. There was a behavior of stalking. So I called it out. I went off. I went from 0 to 100 very quickly. And of course, this person gaslit me, and I stood my ground. I kept my foot on his neck, and I continue to keep my foot on his neck, and I will continue to keep my foot on his neck. And yeah, it made me see that this is what I've been going through all of my life. And my mother was the source of me internalizing it to the point of the silence, all for me to reach 39 years of age and finally say, enough, enough. And clearly that person needed those years of my buildup and explosion, because based on how that person was treating me, I'm sure he has treated a lot of other women the way that he thought that he could continue to treat me. And being that he is old enough to be my father, um, yeah. So I'm now that I'm speaking on it, I'm realizing like there's really no reason for me putting out energy and forgiving myself in which I was placed in this circumstance, you know. Um, was a child, continuously gaslit, psychologically abused, into believing that I shouldn't defend myself when mistreated because said individuals refuse or don't know how to take accountability for their own actions. And these are the type of individuals that claim to feel shame or will show that they're shameful, but they're not shameful of their fucking character. Their character is piss poor. And the fact that I would defend myself when needed was a mirror reflection of the opposite of their character. So I just needed to get that off my chest. And fuck them all. Yes, my mother included. Because look where my attitude got me. It brought me back to myself. She tried to take me away from myself. And it worked for a little while, but that was all a part of the plan. I strayed away, but I was never too far. I love myself. I really do. I used to wonder why I felt the way I did. And it was because I had everybody else's shit on me. They dumped everything on me because they knew I had the capacity to hold it. And it clouded everything that was me. But they can't fog this mirror anymore. My mirror is clean, clear, precise. So look with precaution. Deuces.